Hello, good evening. Welcome back to the Crossing the Streams podcast here on YouTube.com. We're bringing you fresh content every Monday evening at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern. And if you enjoy the show, be sure to drop a follow, drop a subscription here on YouTube, and follow us on Twitter. You can see our handles right below our lovely faces here. I'm joined today by my colleague Force. Force, you want to say what's up?
What's going on, guys? How's it going?
Force, how are you tonight?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I've I've been better in the past, I would say.
Really?
Viewers, longtime viewers of the podcast might be noticing something uh a little bit amiss having to do with the visual component.
I can see that, and we all got hiccups, but you made a quick recovery.
I did my very best to make a quick recovery. Let me tell you, I got on OBS like 15 minutes before we were supposed to go live here. And I clicked around. I was like, all right, let's get everything set up. Clicked on my podcast scene, and the whole thing was just gone. Uh,
That's tough.
yeah, I don't
That is
know.
tough.
I don't have an explanation for you. The OBS gremlins must have crawled inside my program at some point and deleted the overlay.
The other thing is if the overlay's been moved, that messes it up too,
That
as another idea for you.
that could be the case. That
'Cause
could
that messed me
very
up
well be the
bad
case.
back when I had like 7 different things for alerts, and it was such a pain. And then I moved one folder, and it messed everything up. But I
Yeah.
fixed it. It took a while, but I fixed it.
Well, we're gonna get things rocking here with the overlay again, and everything's gonna be fine. But for now, this is what we're rocking with, and I think we're gonna be okay. You know, the overlay is not the content. The overlay is
These
like
two.
it's the icing on top of the content. The content is me and Force here tonight.
Right. Yeah, that's why you guys came through, right?
Absolutely. So, Force, let's talk about what's been going on with you lately. You've had
Oh,
a you've had a recent shall we say, um, I don't know, a renaissance.
in a sense, yeah. A little reimagining of what all is coming out and how's it coming out and all that stuff for the channels. Now it's plural. We're officially rocking too. I don't know. It started with kind of just the idea of the type of games that I play, and is it really sure, some games on the stream were very, had a lot of people coming in, which was awesome. Some of them did, some of them didn't. And kind of it took us a step back and took a pause and was like, what's going to be the best avenue for this content? Is it going to be streaming it every few days a week, but then it takes me such a long time to get through a game? Or do I sit down on off time, play those games, record them as if I am streaming, just for the YouTube and everything, as just the walkthrough and gameplay and all that stuff, since I focus mainly on those campaign story, type of games as well. I just kind of figured YouTube's a little bit better avenue for that. And so I took a huge break from streaming. Haven't streamed since middle of December when I last beat Far Cry, and I think when Caldera first went live, I think I did a little stuff there. Um, but that was really it. I had big ideas and big stuff I wanted to actually announce as well on that my official last stream, but unfortunately got sick, sore
Mm.
throat. It was bad.
Whoa,
So
dude.
didn't get to have an official send off over to YouTube, but it's been treating me well because it allowed me to really focus. I have 2 videos up currently. Both absolutely went. I don't know what in the world happened. I don't know if the niche for these games is definitely here on YouTube or what it is, but videos have done really well in the first week of them being live. And I got, what, 5 more scheduled for the upcoming this Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, next Tuesday and Thursday are all set and ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I was watching those videos sort of pop off as as they were going over the course of their lifespan there, and I like almost couldn't believe it because like we'll get into the nitty gritty a little bit. You've got, let me just pull up your channel here. You've got a video on Guardians of the Galaxy and a video on, was it the Star Wars? Which Star Wars game
Uh,
is it?
the Jedi Fallen Order one.
Fallen Order, right?
Yep.
Wars. And they're both over 1,000 views. One of them's almost at 2,000 views,
I know, dude.
which is like for me, that's like looking at a dadgum celebrity.
Don't get that in my head just yet. I got a long way to go till that. But if we keep the pace, I told my buddy, I was like, give me 10 years and this channel is gonna be hopefully being able to support itself at this type of pace. That would be insane.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, dude. Like exactly, Mr. Relevant says killer, which is the exact reaction that I had. So let's talk about the videos themselves. What did you do different? Or what did you do? Like what was your process going into these videos?
So a big thing that I wanted to do is so my streams on regular are about like 2 hours long every time. And so what I would do is I would play these games. Like if you go back through my history, you'll see The Last of Us Part 2, you'll see Far Cry 5, you'll see Resident both the most recent Resident Evils and stuff that came out. And each of those videos are at least an hour and a half to 2.5 hours long just because I recorded straight the whole 2 hours and I didn't dedicate a time to like cut that down while I was streaming just because I was kind of in the zone and all that stuff. And for me, I guess just not wanting to put in the effort on the side to find that split, create a new intro, and then let the video kind of do its thing from there. It was just an idea. My first idea was to cut them down. And so yeah, I think the Guardians one is still just at an hour and a half, just shy of that. But like Fallen Order is 37 minutes. And so shortening the videos was a big step just because I knew that that needed to be done because I'm trying to grow the channel. And so, like we've always talked about too, TikToks and those shorter forms have a quicker and a better attention grabber to bring people in that will be longtime viewers and stuff like that for the longer content if that ends up coming back as well. Um, so that was a big change that I needed to make, and it allowed it to be done because I was just here on the weekend and had 4 hours to spare. So let's record a bunch of stuff and be able to stop when there's an actual stopping point or when each chapter ends. Can actually base it off that instead of just a free for all of time, basically.
Right. So being intentional about recording your content and like
Exactly.
making bespoke YouTube content, as it were.
Exactly.
And I totally agree with what you were saying. About, you said like you had your whole stream recorded and you like didn't want to put in the effort. You said of like cutting it down for YouTube. Like
Yeah.
I totally been there, man. I recently went through. I had a bunch of like 2 3 hour streams recorded and pushed straight to my YouTube channel, and they were all like sitting at like 1 or 0 views. And I just went through and unlisted them all off my channel, because what I'm doing is I'm kind of trying to like go through a similar thing of what you're going through of like trying to like rethink how I'm approaching my content.
Hmm.
And what I didn't want was for someone to watch one of my new videos that's coming out and really like it, and then like click on one of my older videos and be like, maybe not.
Right.
So
And
I decided to unlist the older videos.
yeah, have you gone through my videos at all?
I'm looking at your channel right now and I see you've got The Last of
If you
Us
go
2, Far Cry 5.
if you click, what is it? Just the view of videos or just the videos section in general. If you
Mm-hmm.
scroll all the way down, man, seeing even just the thumbnail change from what things used to be back in the day. Like I have the GIF sunglasses, the 8-bit sunglasses on an old Call of Duty thing. that I streamed when the alpha went live on Modern Warfare. And sure, it's got 15 views, but for me, I keep most of them on there. I think there's been a few that I've taken down because they've just been pointless. But seeing where you came from to see how everything's looking now, oh my god, things are so much cleaner and just thrown together so much better. And it's been nice seeing that change
It
as
definitely
well.
shows when you put effort into your content. When you put out something that you're proud of, it definitely shows for sure.
Yeah,
And Irrelevant asks, do you create your own thumbnails?
I do actually, and I absolutely hate it. It's the one part of the process that I get it. It needs to be done, but I would much rather do the campaign ones that I'm doing right now because honestly, it is just getting a good screenshot, throwing a splatter PNG file on there, and putting a number over it for where I'm at. But if you go back to like my Modern Warfare one, I guess the one that's on my homepage, that very first one, the Grau and MP7 is unstoppable. The amount of time that that thing took me to do was horrendous because I'm using Photopea and not any Adobe stuff and
Mhm.
big files like that because it's free and it's nice and I figured why not. But like doing the clipping and then the masking and overlaying all the different stuff, no one showed me how to do that, so I'm trying to teach myself and it was really difficult. So I like this version a lot better. Where you screenshot, splatter, number, done.
Yeah, I have a
Um,
hack. I have a hack for thumbnails.
yeah.
It's called "Get You a Wife That's a Photographer."
That's slightly cheating the system, but I'll allow it.
It's handy because she already kind of knows how Photoshop works,
Yeah.
and she already has a license for Photoshop.
Oh, well,
So
then
I
there you
just
go. Yeah.
downloaded it on my computer, and I get to use her Photoshop license on my computer. It's pretty sweet.
That does sound nice. So I know Photoshop's got a lot of abilities and whatnot, which is super nice.
It's also
Um,
intimidating though, like for someone like me who's like never used it before. I recently made my first thumbnails for YouTube because like stupid
yeah.
me, um I was going through life on YouTube thinking that thumbnails didn't matter. It's
Oh,
not the case.
thumbnails matter way too much on YouTube.
They do. It's about getting the click. Like having a killer video, you can have like the best video on the platform, but if no one clicks on it, it doesn't matter.
Right. Exactly.
So like yeah, it does thumbnails do matter. I was mistaken. I was remiss to say the least.
Oh yeah. And I think that's why some of my older ones that I'm looking back at, they looked terrible just from the thumbnail because either you can't read the text on there or whatever it was, or the ones that didn't have thumbnails and it was just that random screenshot of the game. There's no enticement there besides people that are just diehard, like, I want to see what this video is, and then they want to hate on it, but it's fine. That's the whole point, right?
So let's talk about the analytics for your two most
Mhm.
recent videos that popped off. So if you wouldn't mind diving in a little bit and like shedding some light on that, because we don't get to see
Yeah.
that from like just looking at your channel. You get to see it from the inside.
Oh, and dude, it was crazy because it was over such a short amount of time, and it really was because I uploaded it on the 11th. So the 11th was the first video that went live, and that was Guardians. And then so I think it started on the 12th, is what it looks like. Is when it first had its first peak at 1,434 views,
Okay.
which was insane. And the biggest thing that's crazy is that I've always noticed that all of my videos normally have a watch time of like 5 minutes. Um, Compared to some of these other people, like one of the big guys that I've always looked up to, I guess, in regards to the YouTube content of story games, campaign games, and stuff like that, was Hollow or Hollow Point.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll sit and watch a whole video just because I'm curious to see where everything's going to go. And so I got to figure out how to stretch out my average view time per
Mm-hmm.
video, and from that 5 minutes to 15 to 20. This video, this whole recent uploads have been nice because now it is growing a little bit. I think I'm up to about 8 minutes, which
Okay.
is hey, it's a little bit more, right? I spent a little bit more time actually viewing it. I've gone up oodles of subscribers as well, which originally I think I was at like 47, 46. 161 is the real time update right now. So a week is all that took just to bring some folks in. And then someone said, I'm not going to watch the whole thing, but I'm going to subscribe just in case something else comes across my way. That I'm going to be like, oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that seems like a good thing to watch.
that's awesome. That's like that's a huge subscriber growth.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about um
Oh,
we're talking about like 1.8 thousand people watching for 8 minutes. That's like quite a bit of watch time in total.
yeah. Yeah.
So,
Watch time in general right now is at 167 hours.
wow. I think that's more than my total watch time on my channel.
Wow. I mean,
That's
dude, this is just crazy. I don't know what's going on.
I know like we need to crack the code here. And
Crack the code.
you know what I'm saying? If you can like keep
Yeah,
cranking these bad boys out, your channel's going to be going to the moon.
that is the plan. If not just like up in the air for a little bit, you know, the moon, I don't know how to breathe in space, but we'll figure it out. It's
Yeah,
just
fair enough.
an adventure along the way.
So, I'm really actually excited to see where the next videos in this series where they go. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
And that's what I'm really excited about is that my initial plan too was going to be kind of like how I did my streams. I would play one game and just skip from start to finish, and then I would slowly post those on YouTube. Sure, that's not a bad idea because it creates that engagement of the same story, the whole time
Mhm.
through. But like, I didn't want it to be stale. I didn't want people to think that that was the only set of stuff coming out. So that's why, if I can time this right, because the way I have it now, I'm actually adding Saturday as another upload day. Um, if I can get these things recorded, I have, so let's see, I have Quantum Break coming back as a video that I'm going to be playing through as well. That game came out in like 2016, I think, by Remedy Entertainment. They did like Alan Wake and Control.
Mhm.
Um, so this was another game by them, and I loved it. I had a lot of fun with it, so hopefully that does well. I got House of Ashes coming up. That's posted on the 20th. Irrelevant. You better be ready for that.
House of Ashes, Pog, Dark Pictures, Pog.
Yep, it's coming out, man. I'm super excited. I got part one and part two. Part two is the following week, and then I got part two of Jedi, part two of Guardians, and then I got like four other games just in general that I have on the backside to keep adding to this. So, um, just constantly changing it up, just to say like this is such a wide breadth of games that can be played on this channel. And then we're gonna start getting new stuff here soon. Dying Light 2, guys. I'm telling you, it's gonna be
Nice.
crazy.
And that's really like I think that it's key. That's like part of and what you said about like playing a wide breadth of games. I feel like if you can make a platform early on where you're successful playing a wide variety of different games, you're gonna be happier in the long run.
Oh yeah.
Because you see a lot of these big creators kind of shoehorning themselves into one single game. Like you'll have like guys that are they just play Call of Duty on their channel, and then 5 years down the road, you've been playing Call of Duty like 4 to 8 hours a day every day, and you just don't like Call of Duty anymore.
Yeah, dude. I was getting to that point too. I was playing a lot of Duty on the side in between like my stories, and I'm like, there's more games than this. And that's why I've gotten hooked on Knockout
Oh, Knockout is
City.
like
It's actually fun.
it is.
The
Yeah,
colors are fun.
speaking of
Go ahead.
Knockout, like stay tuned to our YouTube channels because we're gonna be filming some Knockout after this.
It's gonna be super satisfying.
But yeah, like changing it up is super important, and I've always been huge on that.
Hmm.
Um, because burnout's a real thing.
Yeah.
I appear to be frozen. Is the stream frozen, y'all?
Oh,
Oh,
uh,
I'm frozen on the stream.
nope. It just fixed,
Oh,
or at
it
least I just
fixed.
fixed. No.
I've got this stupid look on my face. Oh boy. Hang on. Let me see if I can fix this.
Okay.
Okay, we're back.
Is it official?
Yes, we fixed it. We got our tech guys on it and they knocked it out.
Oh, thanks, Steven and Brad.
Yeah. Those guys
I
are the
appreciate
best. Shout out to Steven and Brad, our tech guys.
it. That's great.
Oh boy. Okay, so um let's get back to your strategy for YouTube. You were talking about um playing several different games, long form campaign videos, right?
Yeah.
I'm I'm really interested to see how that goes because I am someone who really enjoys to consume that type of content. I've noticed over the course of like the past year or so making content, I don't know if like I don't know if I'm the most suited to making that type of content. So
It's I
let's
can
talk
I can
about
feel you
like
on that one.
yeah, talk about the process of actually making the videos, being entertaining for an hour and a half.
So, I've always been a weird fella. Um, and so even when I've played just these games myself, like when I played Marvel's Avengers just on the side for fun, just to kind of finally see what it was because it was available on the Game Pass. And everything that you guys will see in the most recent set of videos and stuff like that was is just stuff that I do already. Um, if I see things happen, if I see a react something I need to react to, oh, and just
Mm-hmm.
talk to myself while dealing with what in the world's going on here. And so and that's what also everyone saw on the stream too. Even though I had some, with 1 to 2 viewers, some with none, some with 10, whatever it was, I was still just talking to myself the same way as I would because you'll see other folks that will just play through a game and they're just
Yeah.
or they don't even have the webcam on. There's this guy, nothing against him at all. He's been very popular for a very long time. A lot of people watch him for his insight and his depth that he goes into with a lot of his games. But the Rad Brad is someone my wife had watched a lot when like Assassin's Creed 3 came out, I think, and some other ones after that as well. Um, she liked him a lot. I was like, it's fine. He does a few things differently, but he doesn't show his face on the webcam, but he tells a lot of the story, gives a lot of details. So
Mm-hmm.
he's really talking most of the time. So he's filling that void of not needing to see a reaction because he's providing insight and stuff like that. So I think depending on how you want to go about it, there's definitely the two avenues there. But I got lucky with being a weirdo and can just this is what you get.
That's totally cool. I love it. Your personality really does come through on your content. I can say that. Like as an outsider watching, definitely is you're one of the most entertaining, I'll say.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
We had a
I had
question
this.
in chat actually.
Yeah. What do you got?
Courtney said, "I'm curious how much time Force is able to devote to his channel. So if you had to give like a weekly figure, what would you say? If you were just guessing."
It's tough because I probably spent. It's probably about 3 to 5 hours recording, depending on how. Like if I want to do 2 games per day, 3 games per day, whatever it is, and then also depends on how long the chapters are because like Guardians, they have really long chapters, so it takes a lot longer to get through one of those to be able to switch to a set another game and stuff like that. So it varies from there, but that's just the recording part, and then the upside to recording this type of content is that it's very straightforward stories, so there's not a lot of middle ground to just explore, I guess, at this
Mm-hmm.
point. Unless it was like Far Cry or something like that, where it is open world. But right now, this content is more very streamlined, very start to finish right now. So just editing doesn't take as long. Um, So that one's maybe like a 2 hour for the whole week's worth. Like I edited 5 videos that were anywhere from an hour and a half to or 30 minutes to an hour and a half worth of time, but I could get through them pretty quick. So it was about maybe 2 hours of editing for all 5 of those videos. So,
Okay.
and this normally varies between 2 to 3 days worth as well as for like the whole week. So, not
Okay.
too bad. Not
Yeah,
too bad.
that's a good insight. I think we talked about burning out on a certain game. There's definitely potential for burning out like just on content creation in general as well. If you just start
Hmm.
like slamming all of your time into it. So there's
So
something to be
yeah.
said for moderation for sure.
Hmm.
So what have you like if you had to pick a favorite game that you've put on your channel so far just like of pure enjoyment, what would you say?
Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, I didn't do it right because this was right when I was first diving more into the like when I first got the PC and was recording content there to post on to stream on Twitch, post on YouTube, all that stuff. Um, but as a game in general, I loved it and I would love to maybe go back and revisit it. But the first Spider-Man,
Hmm.
the PS4 Spider-Man 2019 or whatever it was, um, freaking love that game. Had a blast playing it. It was just so smooth. Like there was not a single point playing that game that I was not just like looking like a giddy kid. Like just I'm swinging and I'm Spider Man. It was great. So that one was a lot of fun. But then if you want to flip it, because I did a lot of horror games, the Little Nightmare series, holy crap! Story wise, detail wise, the full story in general is apparently super huge. Like there was even a mobile game that ties into the whole story that was just like a little one-off thing.
Hmm.
Um, and I'm hoping that they make a third one for console at least, because it would be phenomenal. But I freaking love those games, so
Really?
it was a lot. It was super good.
Are they scary?
Oh yeah. Yes and no. It's more just kind of like this weird creepy factor because of the style, the detail of the game itself. Because it is technically a side scroller, um, so it's a very straightforward
Mm-hmm.
game. But the characters you interact with and just the creepiness of the editing and like there's this lady that's a librarian and you're supposed to be quiet in the library, but like her head will stretch out and like find you and tell you to shush and then like eat you. But it's a whole thing. Um,
Interesting.
it's super good. It's super creepy. It didn't give me full nightmares, like little nightmares, haha. Um, but man, it was intense, and that's one of mine on my channel that I just put the whole thing together. So it's a 4.5 hour video, woohoo! But it showcases from start to finish, and I think I even have little time markers on there. But if not, that's definitely something I need to add. But yes, definitely those two games have been so much fun.
Yeah, that's super cool because I've actually seen quite a few people saying positive things about Little Nightmares. Never played it though, but maybe I should give it a shot.
Yeah, I saw the trailer for the second one. Was like, this seems kind of cool. Played the first one, was like, holy crap, and then played the second one. Was like, holy crap. So super cool. The endings of both of those were. I was hype. I was like getting hype for like what was going on. I was like, this is fucking awesome. Sorry,
Nice. Oh no,
pardon the French.
you're cool. Well, thank you for giving us an insight into the inner workings, the inner machinations of the mind of Force. It's
Well,
always
I'm here,
a
man.
it's always a pleasure to talk to another bearded legend.
Bearded legend. I'm glad yours is coming back as well as it has.
Yeah.
It wasn't gone for too long.
No, it's back stronger, I think, too.
That's good. Good.
Yeah, this isn't even my final form. Just wait. Just wait another
Final form.
6 months. I'm looking at my wife because she's not gonna be thrilled.
Not a big fan. That's all good.
She doesn't mind the beard, but she doesn't like it like
Yeah,
too big.
and I just don't like getting it caught up in stuff like zippers and stuff with jackets. That's why I went a little shorter recently.
Fair enough.
Can't be having that.
Anyways, I think we're gonna call the podcast here. It was a pleasure having you on. I'm sure this won't be the last time you be joining us on Crossing the Streams. I hope.
No, yeah, I'm always happy to be here. So whenever you need me, man, just give me a holler.
Absolutely, and that's gonna do it for tonight's episode. Hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to follow us on Twitter. We're always tweeting about whatever we're doing. Stay up to date on everything we're up to. Also, go head over and subscribe to Force on YouTube. He's making big moves over there, like you wouldn't believe. Subscribe to him. It's ForceWokeGaming, just like you can see right on your screen there. You won't regret it, I promise. And with that being said, we'll call it a night right there.
Go, guys. May the force be with all y'all.